Hey, it's Cam here from the future. I'm doing the editing now and I've realised that my screen capture didn't actually capture any of the plugins. So what I've done is I've done them as an overlay, which is why they look weird. Also, I'm keenly aware that the camera is out of focus. I sort of set it up on a small f-stop, so that's on me and I'll fix it for next time, but I'm not going to retape everything because doing that voice hurts my throat. Hello, Patreons! Okay. Today I wanted to do a tutorial of how I do the Serpent voice. A lot of people have said it's a pretty important part to them of Historia 1, and of course it's going to come back in Historia 2. I've put the camera up, so hopefully it'll be a bit better than the last record. I've tried to upgrade the screen recording as well, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so today I have 3 or 4 sounds that I need to do. We're going to be reusing some of the old effects, but I'm also going to be adding some new ones today. So I'm going to take you through the whole process. We have a few different emotions that we want to try having going on, and so we'll be making that all work. So let's get into it. First up, let me get my headphones on so I don't break anything. I need to turn that down, I need to turn that up, and I need to do the phantom on. Whoop, there we go. Okay, so I have, and I'm legally required to say I'm a Harman employee, so therefore this mic I have to promote. It's a C636 from AKG, but it is very good. With the Serpent I like to go for a condenser, it gets that nice nice noise. I do also have the last ones we've done on this, which is the MXL Blizzard 990, but we'll see how we go. I just brought this one home, so I want to give it a try. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is get that that sort of sucking voice going on. So let's get back to 0. Let's add an audio track. Call that Cam voice. Get the compressor on so I don't overdo it, because you don't want to clip on input. That's never a good thing. If you can always have an input compressor, that's always a good idea. Okay. What am I looking for? So the emotions I'm looking for are a roar, about to eat, sniffing, assessing, and then growing away. So let's start with about to eat. Need more water, just a sec. Or tea. Oh god, I'm so dry today. Never try and do this in winter. A lot of that is just made by sucking air back in through your throat, so it's like a reverse scream, I guess I call it. Okay, so let's get some markers in here. So what I want to always do, and I advise this to everyone, is have a marker track. So in the markers we just want to drop a marker here and say, hey, you know what, this is our first take. And you know what, I'm going to say dry because that was very dry. So marker tracks are great because you're able to then run through 3 or 4 different sounds within the one layer. So now I'm going to go back here and say this is hungry. Hungry, about to eat. I've just add a bit more water as well. Okay, so let's see how we go with this. There's the transport, get the transport to there. There we go. It's not feeling like that. That's not it. Clipping out, that's no good. Let's get some dang back on that. Okay, so the next step here is going to be some editing. You can hear it's pretty, vocal by itself, and if I get the chance I'll throw in some of those raw recordings straight in there. But it doesn't really have that that guts that I want. So when I come to editing, there's usually a couple of, 3 really good cheats that I use for these. The first one is a pitch down, to get it down in that kind of lower register. The second one is a bit of distortion to try and give it a bit more crunch, a bit more grunge, and then the last one, of course, is some reverb to kind of place it in the room. Okay, now I've switched across to my main monitors. I do prefer to use speakers for this kind of thing. That's a bit drier, we don't want to use that one. Let's get here. So this is where our markers come in handy. We can jump straight to the first one, which we said was hungry. Now we can say, no, it's not so great. That's a bit better there. So I'm just going to move that marker here. Okay, so let's jump in here. Let's throw our things on here. So we want distortion. What do I usually go for? I'm going to go for trash. Trash is always fun. Let's get a loop set up here. Actually, you know, the first thing we need to do is actually drop that by pitch. So let's pitch shift. What I'm going to do is drop it by 1272. Oops. Drop it down to about 67. There we go, that's a bit better. There we go, so that's already kind of in the range, and that does need a compressor on it. Just a little bit of light compression, even though it was compressed on input, just to make sure it doesn't overload. Lose auto makeup. There we go. So we're in the range now, we just need a bit of reverb, not reverb. Some tone. So I always start with a preset. Start with a preset and then you can get back to where you want to be. Why don't I move this? So that thing is right in the way. What if I move this over here? There we go. Close. There we go. Pull that drive back a bit. It's getting a bit too out there. Drive switches. There you go. Let's get some reverb on there. I've taken a liking to Revelation recently. Now this is inside a house, so let's try and go for a medium room, and I'm going to go for bright. The reason we go for bright is to get a lot of that high end in there. Probably a bit too much, let's back that off a little bit. It's kind of okay. That's kind of okay. You know what though, I want a bit of an echo in there, so what I'm going to do is, where's my doubler? What we might actually do is chop that out. Boop, boop. Copy, add the audio track. Put that in there. We'll actually get rid of this. We use dark fader on that one. Doubler, double to stereo, dark fader, and get rid of it on this one. No effect, get rid of that, okay. Oh, of course, because that one's still a higher pitch. Yeah, actually, I kind of like that. What I'm going to do is pull that one down. That double always tends to kick it out a bit. Why is it going high? Get that down a little bit as well. I think it's just starting to clip us out. Yeah, see. What I might do. Number 2, I want to have a bit of a. There's my cue. Where can I change that? There we go. is how we make a scream. Okay. I hope you enjoyed it.